Hi, it's Peter First up at Narrow Neck in Katoomba, freezing a little bit. I'm here with Pat, an expert from the local camera house. We're going to discuss 3 tips for using filters. Now, I've got to admit, I tend to just use a filter to protect the expensive glass on my camera, but I imagine it can do a hell of a lot more than that. What are the 3 types of filters that we're going to talk about today?
Yeah, so the first one is the UV, which you hinted on there at the beginning. So basically the UV filter is designed just to protect the front of the glass, but also there's different grades of UV filter. So the filter that I've got on my camera here today is a HGX Pro Master filter, and what that does is actually increase the scratch resistance at the front as well as reducing flare into the shot.
And if you're going to be packing like a $2,000 lens, I highly recommend you spend the money to get a UV filter to protect it. But you can do a lot more with the filters too. So what's the second one we're going to look at?
Yeah, so one that I brought here today is actually a square filter by Canon, and this is a gradual ND filter or neutral density filter. And what this does is actually it sits on the horizon. So basically that it'll limit the amount of light that comes through from the sky so that you can, in one shot, expose correctly between the sky and the deep shadows in the valley floor.
Seems to be something that's particularly important in a place like Australia where you have, I mean, this is the middle of winter and look how blue the sky is, but up against what can be quite a dark foreground.
Yeah, that's right. It's incredibly hard to balance a shot like this in Australian sun. So there's a few different ways to go about it. There is another way in which it's called HDR or high dynamic range photography, but the results are mixed depending on which software you use. But basically that's a way in which you take multiple exposures and combine them in post-production. But we found here at Katoomba Camera House the most natural shot is taken using a filter like this.
So what's the third filter tip you've got for us?
Yeah, so at Katoomba Camera House we always recommend you take a circular polarizing filter, and what that does is enhance the colors in the sky, as well as cutting a bit of glare out of your image. So what that does is really help you get a natural shot in camera without having to do a lot of post-production work.
It pops out those colors really nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right, especially in the Blue Mountains where you get a really harsh sky. It's hard to expose for that, so you get quite like a whitish sky, so it really helps pop the blue out a bit more.
Okay, now I understand he's also got a 4th secret tip for us. What's this other filter that can change up the kinds of photography we do?
Yeah, so there's a lot of filters that are actually designed to enhance your photography in a creative sense, not so much to get a photorealistic view of what you're seeing. So one that I brought here today is an infrared filter, and what that does is actually use a different spectrum of light to capture the photography into your image sensor directly. So this one here is an infrared filter that we use and we recommend here at the store. And this, when combined with a black and white image sensor, gives some stunning results, especially against the escarpments here at Katoomba.
So that was our 4 tips on filters. If you've got any other questions, pop in at your local camera house store and they'll be able to help you with this plus other local advice.